happy memory of my time in the Void. A realm where chaos reigns, but the laws of reality don't apply. A world of Colossus. I don't like the idea of going back there. If Seneca miscalculates and we get stuck in the Void, many of the Descendants could die. But he has a point. If we could intercept the Colossus in the Void before it reaches Ingress, then we wouldn't have to worry about it attacking us. We could prevent future catastrophic losses of lives. The only problem is how much I can trust Seneca. Doesn't feel right having to rely on someone else's calculations to get back to the Void. But I can't see another way. And I can't leave it to the rookie Descendants. I guess I don't have a choice. I'll make sure Alpha compensates me well for this.
This is the field report from the Ironheart retrieval operation. Would you like to read it?
No. I've already heard enough about it. I'll read the report later.
Then you must know how dangerous it was. What if we had lost someone?
Acquiring the Ironheart is of the utmost importance. You know that it might be the only way to end this wretched war.
You're right, it might be the only way. But that's not all the Magisters have said. They also admitted that using the Ironheart might make the dimensional wall unstable.
Do you want to just sit back and watch the enemy acquire all of the Ironhearts? If you don't know what the outcome of that is, I'll tell you. Extermination.
We have no info on what the Vulgus intend to do with the Ironhearts. Of course, I don't believe it's anything good.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Now do you understand that this was a necessary operation?
Yes, I understand. But please, can you hold off on planning any similar operations? We don't know yet what an Ironheart is made of, or what one is capable of.
That's why we need to get our hands on one first and analyze it.
The phenomenon that occurred when Corel touched the Ironheart was definitely a void erosion. If that happens in the middle of Albion...
If we could end the war, it would be worth trying.
The Ironheart is currently in enemy hands, so we need to move cautiously. I am worried about Alpha. As a member of HQ, I'm supposed to provide Alpha with the right advice. He's clearly anxious, and I'm not sure if me confronting him is the best idea. It feels strange to even think this, but even the Magisters don't seem to know much about the Ironheart. As it stands, should I follow the Magisters' advice and retrieve the Ironheart so we can close the dimensional wall? I don't disagree with Alpha that we need to retrieve the Ironheart first. If we don't act now, the enemy will take it, and then it might be too late to do anything. The biggest problem is that we just don't know. We have to move forward and make the most important decision in our history, and do it in the dark. But if there's no right answer, there's no wrong answer, right? That might be a stupid question. We'll have to do our best and face the consequences. That seems to be our only option right now.
We must get hold of the Ironheart. The sacrifices that we'll have to make to do it are a weight on my mind. But that is entirely my responsibility. The burden of any leader who plans operations to lead soldiers to their deaths. It is mine to carry. And if it's needed, I will endure it. No, I must endure it. I'm not in a position to indulge any petty emotions. But we still don't have enough information. Only the right decision will mean less blood will be shed. I know that. But I don't know enough to make a sound judgment. I have to hope that the investigative corps will bring back results. Without the Ironheart, the Magisters say that there's only so much data they can provide. We need to do something. Our first priority must be to recover the Ironheart. There is no other way.
The Magisters have indeed taught us a great deal. If it weren't for the knowledge and technology, we would have been exterminated long ago. Ingers and the Ironheart would have already fallen to Volva's hands. However, sometimes I am concerned that our trust in the Magisters is misplaced. I'm not saying they will betray us. If it weren't for them, of course, we would never have been able to endure the century following the apocalypse. What I'm trying to say is that the Magisters haven't passed on everything they know. They value the truth more than their own lives. And they believe we will one day defeat Corella and bring peace to Ingers. There must be a reason the Magisters believe this. But unfortunately, I am not in possession of any knowledge that makes me believe it. As you know, we only know as much about the Ironheart and the boys the Magisters tell us. It may be disrespectful to me to say this, but I am sure there is information that the Magisters do not share with us. I am not sure that information is positive or negative. I believe it is worth bearing in mind, Commander, that the Magisters are not human. Humankind must decide our own future.
Tell her. No, I'm not. I am. I'm not. I am. No, I don't know. You're so beautiful, Sharon. Those shiny silver hands. Your very work of art. Okay, I've made up my mind. I'm going to tell Sharon how I feel. But if I'm going to confess my love, flowers. I need flowers, but where can I get some? Maybe I don't need flowers. No, I read that if you're going to confess your love to someone, you need to bring them flowers. Okay, I heard from the soldiers that Kingston has beautiful flowers. How do I get to Kingston? Sneak onto a transportation ship? Doesn't sound like a good idea. Maybe the supply unit has flowers. Maybe I could ask the quartermaster. What if I get kicked out for making such a stupid request? I know. I'll request flowers as part of supplies. Then they'll definitely look into it. Great. I'll tell Sharon how I feel once I have some flowers. Yes, that's the best solution. Sharon, please wait for me.
I've told you over and over again, and you don't even pretend to listen. I know the Descendants have a tough time of it. I understand that their suits and weapons need repairs, and the soldiers' gear can break as well. I know all of this. What I can understand is why the materials I need for these repairs haven't arrived. Do I need to pay a visit to the supply unit? They clearly have no respect for me. And what is it with these quantities? Why are they sending us so little? Don't they know how many supplies are needed for their operations? I'm fed up with this. I know filing a complaint with the supply unit won't do any good. just doing what they're told. It's HQ that's the real problem. I'll go file a complaint directly. The Alpha, whoever. If I was 10 years younger, I would have barged right in and given him a piece of my mind. Ah, I'll be an adult and refrain. Let's see. Where did I put that request sheet?
Humanity survives. They stubbornly continue to pursue existence in Albion, a final bastion created by gathering all their remaining resources within a remote mountain range. This location, once thought to have been an architect facility, is the perfect position for their final fortress. Humanity entered into an agreement with us Magisters. We gave them technology and the knowledge of how to fight back, while fortifying Albion and providing them with somewhere they could survive. We also created the ultimate weapon for them. Or to be more precise, we have awakened the ultimate weapon for them. In the distant future, once the Descendants have completely reclaimed the lands that humanity lost, this place will look different. After then, humans will continue to disperse, to find places to call their own. This city will become an empty husk. The day that the last enemy falls, the day that our agreement with humanity finally comes to an end. In order to usher in that day, we continue to create weapons for those who are humanity's last hope.
Brown Beer Tavern is the best in the whole of Albion. What? You don't agree? You're obviously new here, but trust me, a glass of beer is the best reward after a hard day's work. The best. What? Why do I love beer? You definitely need my help. Come on, we're done for the day, time to go. Where? The Brown Beer, of course. It's fine. I was drinking and sneaking out at your age. You don't believe me? Come on, I'll show you. First round is on me. And to make it even better, Blair will be showing off his magic hands. You really have no idea, do you? Blair's going to be showing off his cooking skills at the Brown Beer. You get it now? What? You've never tried Blair's food? Oh, wow. Today's definitely your day. My treat. Just follow me. No, I refuse your refusal. We're going to try everything.
I survived. When Graham fell, I gave up and ran. Thanks to that, I survived. The sight of the burning city remains a horrible, miserable memory. I don't know what happened to the people who escaped the city and scattered. I ran away, despite hearing the screams. I ran and ran until I couldn't hear them. After a few days, I finally met a group of survivors. They'd fled from further north of the city. They told me to head south, to the mountains. They'd heard there was someone who was rallying survivors. I was hungry. When I thought about it, I hadn't had a proper meal in days. Fortunately, the group had some provisions. They shared their food without hesitation. As I wolfed it down, I felt tears welling up in my eyes. I don't know why exactly. Maybe it was relief at having survived, or from the shock of seeing the city on fire, or pity for Graham. Whatever it was, I couldn't stop the tears coming. So I joined the group of survivors, and I hoped our march for survival wouldn't be for nothing.
Reload.
What is up with this weather?
Johnson, I know you're trying to use the weather as an excuse to skip the evening shift again. If you need an excuse to do anything, it should be to practice your spearmanship. This may be our home territory, and our neighbors are definitely up to something.
Come on, Graham, we don't have anything valuable here, and our great knights will be able to hold anyone off. I think there's something you should be more worried about. Look at the sky. Does it look strange to you?
Oh, wait until you're my age. My eyes don't work as well as they used to. You're right, though. The sky does look different somehow. But if this is one of your tricks to try and take the day off, Johnson, I'm going to report it.
It's not, I promise. Look over there. Is that a person?
Person? Are you sure? I can't see it clearly. What was that? A cannon? Johnson, you heard that too, didn't you?
Graham, did you see that? Their spear just spat fire!
This is no time to make jokes. Enemies, we're under attack.
It's a demon! Run, Graham, run!
Johnson! You need to go report to the captain. Quickly.
Graham! Graham! No! Wake up!
once was a time that Kingston, known as King Square, was full of human vitality. During that time, countless people gathered to sing songs. Songs about the beauty of this world and the torment of existence, the joy of birth and the sadness of passing. Now the songs can no longer be heard, and only the faint wails of those who have passed echo throughout this place. Resting places of great heroes are buried under the remains, and the glory they earned has been trampled under the vile feet of the invaders. Perhaps the brilliance of the past will never return to this place. Yet, dreams of those glorious days returning persist. The days that may never be again.
That was the final generator. Ha! I bet they weren't expecting us to use the fuses like that.
Descendant, powerful reinforcements have arrived.
It's okay if I don't remind you what to do again, yeah?
I've learned a useful tactic today. Thank you, Captain Harris. Now on, Devulca's fuel generators we find will be handled with this method. Loading.
I can't remember how long I ran. When I came to my senses, I was surrounded by the faces of other distraught people. Like me, they had lost everything. They had all fled thinking only of their survival. But now they were finally realizing what they had lost. I felt myself smiling bitterly at the thought, and I saw my emotions reflected on their faces. Then we heard the sound of horses in the distance. We hid in the grass and behind rocks. Had the demons found us all the way out here? I could feel the tension in the air, but we realized we were overreacting. The demons had arrived on flying ships, not horses. When the riders arrived, they were human knights in armor. Relief washed over us. They told us to head south. Looking at the position of the sun, I realized we were already headed that way. Likely because there were fewer demons in that direction. The knights told us to look for other survivors and left. With hope renewed, we turned towards the south. We needed to head south to survive.
This gigantic tree is believed to have once been the subject of religious worship by the indigenous people of this zone. Scholars have been unable to provide an accurate explanation for the existence of this tree, and no one can say how it was able to grow to such a massive size. The origins of the tree cannot be found among the records stored within the National Library of the Kingdom. All that exists is a single record stating that the tree is much older than the kingdom itself. In the songs of the bards, this tree is said to be the domain of forest fairies from the legends of old. However, we all know that such claims belong in children's fairy tales. As such, scholars from the Kingdom's Arboretum have put together this discussion session to exchange ideas and theories. However, from the current atmosphere,
It does not seem as if we will be able to reach a meaningful conclusion within a reasonable amount of time. Still, it is not every day that the most renowned scholars in the kingdom gather together, so some outcome must be agreed by the end of today.
I'll never forget that morning's report. The first words out of that pale lieutenant's mouth were, "Demons had invaded." Demons. I reprimanded the lieutenant for the absurdity. Demons. We knights should be disciplined, not taken in by foolish jokes. But it did not take long for my face to become as pale as the lieutenant's. A great, ringing roar. There's no other way to describe the sound I heard. I shouted at my men to hurry assess the situation and grabbed my sword. And that was when I saw the unbelievable. Demons were descending from a great ship in the sky, pouring out like a painting of the apocalypse, but alive, happening before us. Their spears spat fire. The city crumbled from the explosions. People were dying everywhere. I immediately rallied the knights to fight back. But there was nothing we mere mortals could do in the face of the power of the demons. All we could do was pray for the mercy of the gods, for our own imminent deaths. This can't be happening. I will not die in vain. Retreat! Retreat! Every man for himself! Retreat and survive! It was the only decision I could make.
Loading.
Staff reporting to HQ. The plants within the Vulgus classified area have been running non-stop for the past few days. We've captured occasional instances of a suspicious form of energy being released. but it is impossible to accurately determine the source of this energy. Due to the powerful waves being emitted, we risk detection by the enemy should we approach, requesting support so that we may determine the energy source. For now, I have sent a draft report on the detected energy to Albion. We are unfamiliar with this form of energy, and our on-site units are unable to decipher what it is. We are narrowing our recon scope on the possibility that this energy source is connected to the object our allied troops are looking for. One thing we know for certain is that the plants within the zone produce bogus military supplies. These plants have been operating at unprecedented levels. We believe this to be a critical situation. We request a decision from Albion headquarters as soon as possible. Over.
hours of the morning, while it was still dark, I saw it with my own eyes. Something enormous crawling down through the darkness. It was no demon. It was something far deadlier than the demons which had terrorized us. It was the Reaper. This death god shot lightning and killed everything in its sight. My fellow refugees, my siblings. The Reaper executed everyone. When I close my eyes, I can still hear the sounds. People screaming. The death god approaching. I am unable to move. I am unable to do anything at all. The spear in my hand is useless. I am unable to save anyone. I couldn't run. All I could do was pray for the end of this nightmare. And I alone survived, I think. Were there any other survivors? I see. No one. So, I am the sole survivor. Did you find any traces of the Death God? Please tell me if you do. I wish to be as far from it as I am able. Nobody can defeat the Reaper. Not even the demons. If you need it, you will die. If you want to live, I suggest you put as much distance between yourself and it as you can.
close my eyes, the horrible memories of that day come flooding back. The voices of demons, people screaming for mercy, the burning city. Steel armor was useless against the demons' weapons. All our knights and soldiers died, as if proving that humans fighting the demons was a lost cause. But thanks to their sacrifice, many people were able to escape. As I watched the city burn, I understood that the age of prosperity of humankind had ended. Now we faced an age of fighting for survival. Lavish accessories and fine clothes had become meaningless. What was valuable to me now were sturdy shoes which would not wear out. All kinds of people survived the demon's invasion. Knights, soldiers, merchants, the city's vagrants, and nobles like myself. Some idiots continued to hold their heads high, as if they expected their noble status to protect their lives. They didn't survive for long. To speak more precisely, they were ostracized. I knew this new world required one to relinquish both money and honor to survive. I had to survive, whatever the cost. With each passing day, the demons attacked us less often. That didn't mean there were no casualties. Soldiers, knights, and those who had fallen behind all sacrificed themselves. Thanks to them, we were finally able to evade the demons. There was no joy to be had in surviving, no sorrow to honor the dead, no guilt in feeling alone. And then we faced another onslaught from the enemy. Left, as if it were clear not a single soul would escape. The moment their weapons lit up, we were all doomed to die. Suddenly, a giant shadow appeared overhead. We only understood what was happening when we looked up. Something enormous had covered the entire sky. It was neither human nor demon. It was pure, unfeeling death, with an eerie sound of scraping metal. It moved its head, and then the massacre began. Everything that crossed its path died. Humans and demons alike. The demons' weapons continued to spit fire to no avail. But we could not give up our fight for survival. We had lost too much to surrender now.